Okay, so this is a review on the third album by the Jackson 5. It's interesting they called it the third album and it was actually the third album. This was released back in 1970. Yeah? Wow, 1970, you know. So the artwork is of the Jackson 5. It's interesting that how they have like you can clearly see Michael Jackson in the video, in the front cover. Then you can see TR. Is that? And then you can see Jermaine. I'm trying to work them out bit by bit. Like if you see the artwork, you can see that you can't really see their faces clearly. Let me show you. Which obviously you're gonna see in a thumbnail anyway, but you see what I mean? You can't really see them. But I guess that's like a summary of the Jackson 5 in general, because what's annoying, and I'll be real about it, is the fact that the Jackson 5 do not get enough credit for their contribution to the actual music industry in terms of, you know, the way they harmonize. Yeah, think about it. Yes, harmony was like when it came to a group of singers, harmony and all that stuff there was a thing. Don't get me wrong, but what the Jackson 5 did so well was, you know, there was no. Yes, Michael Jackson was the lead singer, and I think Jermaine was the second lead singer, but everyone played their role well. You see what I'm saying? Like they did their thing, and that's why they worked well together, despite being siblings. Yeah, you know how sometimes with siblings you can fight, you can fuss, all that stuff there. Like no, you see what I mean? No, everyone played their role. So big up Joseph Jackson for giving them the discipline to be able to, you know, play their position to do certain things. But anyway, back to the album. So there is 11 tracks. There's I'll Be There, Ready or Not, Here I Come, Oh How Happy, Bridge Over Troubled Water, Can I See You in the Morning, Going Back to Indiana, Mama's Pearl, Reach In, The Love I Saw in You Was Just a Mirage, and Darling Dear. Now, with this album, in all honesty, with the success they have from the previous two albums, you would think, okay, what's next? So obviously the third album come, and you know what they say, third time the charm, and third time the charm, innit? Like they did their thing once again. Like they showed that they were the guys. Like they said we are the guys. Like it's our moment, it's our time. You see what I mean? It's just the Jackson's time. So obviously they did their thing in it. But yeah, you can clearly hear the harmony with the brothers and that. You can clearly hear the harmony. The harmonies are fucking cold. The harmonies. But then when you hear obviously Michael doing his solo, not solo, when it's his part to sing, yo, that brother can fucking sing, you know. Like he can fucking sing. Like I think we discovered that, yeah. But like he can actually sing, like literally sing. Like I think I was watching something and they were mentioning about he was a cold singer when he was younger, but then as he got older he wasn't. I'm not gonna say no names. I know what I was watching. I don't want to say the name. I want to give them. I don't want to discredit them or anything like that. I respect what they do. Do you see what I'm saying? And sometimes people hear things different, innit? But that's wrong. Michael Jackson actually even got better vocally as he got older. You see what I'm saying? Because it's different when your voice breaks and people are so used to that voice. Do you see what I mean? It's like, how do you change? And I think this is why he ended up trying to remain having a soft spoken voice in the public, but behind closed doors, man had a deep voice, innit? Like even his wife at the time, Lisa Marie, was saying, why are you speaking like that? You know what I mean? Like she told him to like pattern up. But you know how it is. You know when you got a girl, a woman or whatever, and she trying to tell you to pattern up, and you're the G, you're the guy, you're the man. I ain't listening to you. You know what I mean? And plus he had purpose, innit? Like he knows what he's doing. But anyway, as usual, I take one song, it's out of context or in context, it is what it is. So I'm gonna use is I'll Be There. Now, often when we get into dating and relationship settings, what tends to happen is in the beginning stages, we have this, how do I put this? I don't want to say, yeah, it's like the honeymoon phase, isn't it? Where everything is so good. Like you feel like you want to be there for the person and all that stuff there. But the case is this, as time goes on, you're going to find, I won't say it's difficult that you will be there for them, but it can be challenging. Because especially if you have a career that is continuously progressing and taking time out of your day and all that stuff there, taking more time out of your day, should I say, then it can be very time consuming to try and maintain that relationship where you're going to be there for each other. And more time, what happens is sometimes I'm saying the same thing, what happens is with the honeymoon phase is where they put up a facade. People put up a facade trying to say, oh, they're going to be there for the person, and they do at that particular time. When the honeymoon phase is over, they're no longer they're no longer there, bruv. So it's like, fuck, what do you do? The key thing is not expecting them to be there for you, and you not expecting to be there for them. Yeah, you have to focus on your job as a man or as a woman in that relationship. Do you see what I mean? So long as you understand your role and you play your position, then naturally what's going to happen from where you are in that time in that relationship, you will be able to be there in ways that make sense, yeah, at that time, yeah. It's not always going to be the same, but because time and everything changes, isn't it? So it's not always going to be the same. So if you click the link in the description box below, it says become a member of the Thealkebulantrust, you will get access to online courses such as roles and relationships, and that's where you're going to learn exactly how to develop yourself as an alpha male or a thoroughbred alpha male if you're a man watching this, and if you're a woman watching this, you learn how to develop yourself as a pure feminine woman. Plus, the bonus is you learn exactly how dating and relationships actually work. And on top of that, the best thing about it is you get access to online courses such as healthcare, because in that course you learn exactly how to strengthen your health or your mental health, so you won't have to put yourself in a position where you feel like and expect them to be there for them. They expect you to be there for them or vice versa. You see what I'm saying? Because it can be challenging mentally, and it can really take on your mental health. Like, think about it, because when you're there for someone and you're consistently putting yourself there for them, it's taking a lot out of you. And then when you end up breaking up with that person, sometimes you can actually feel at a loss. Yeah, you can feel at a loss, and you don't want to put yourself in that position, because that's not a position to be in, and it takes quite a while for you to get out of that phase. And the best way to get out of that phase is to actually develop yourself further, and you'll be able to get back to normal. Do you see what I'm saying? So if you've got any questions, any topics you'd like for us to discuss on our videos, leave that in the comment section below. And remember, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, because you never know, the video you suggest might just be next. Oh shit, I nearly forgot. The album, I'm going to give 10 out of 10. The link to the album is in the description box below as well, so go stream that, go buy that. And listen, look, if you can pay homage, give them their guitars, should I say, and their drums, while I don't want to use roses because they're men in it. So if you can do that, and even give Catherine Jackson her roses now and all that stuff there, do that. Because listen, let's be real, I wouldn't be doing this without their contribution in general. You see what I'm saying? So I'm paying fucking homage. Like, I'm paying homage. Yeah, I may not be doing music anymore, but the reality is, if it wasn't for the likes of Michael Jackson doing a song like Heal the World and the Earth Song, even though that's not on this album, that was years later. That was decades later. But even Taj said it, his nephew said it. Without the Jackson 5, there is no Michael Jackson. Do you see what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, I don't think he said it in those words, but I get what he meant. It's on the Cold Review, like, go watch that. I think there's like 3 interviews now. But anyway, go watch that. But other than that, yeah, so I'm paying homage. Like, I have to pay homage. There's no way I cannot pay homage. So, I would suggest you do the same. Let them know, hear me. Tell the Jackson 5, tell each of them, get me, they're what's the word? I'm trying to use the word. I can't think of a word right now. They're appreciated, innit? They're appreciated. You see what I mean? They broke records. They set the standard. Think about it. Look at every other boy band, yeah, from the Jackson 5. Especially, like, yeah. If you look at NSYNC, it is like they're trying to mimic the Jackson 5. If you look at, who else is there? New Edition. Even their vocals alone tell you that. If you look at, listen, I'm not even gonna, I'm stopping. Look, click the link in the description box below. Become a member of the Thealkebulantrust and all that stuff there. Get access to those courses. Stream the album, third album by Michael Jackson, in the description box as well. And if you've got any questions, any topics you'd like for us to discuss in our videos, leave that in the comment section below. And remember, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, because you never know the video you suggest might just be next.